Hi guys, Brain here, and welcome to another commentary video. Today I wanted to talk about why I prefer Killer over Survivor, because I've talked about this in many different videos before. If you go through my whole commentary channel playlist, you've probably run into a video like this once or twice before, and I think it's always interesting to see like what my reasons vary with as you go through time. And I always find new reasons why I prefer Killer over Survivor, because like there's not like one reason. Like these reasons add up over time, and I thought that like as I continued to play Dead by Daylight, I would get more around to the idea that like maybe Survivor can be more fun than Killer. Maybe there's things about Survivor that I will eventually enjoy more than the Killer role. But one thing I have been consistent with in the entire about 4-year career, I guess, playing Dead by Daylight, something that's always remained consistent is the fact that I do prefer the Killer role. And recently I kind of came to the understanding, the realization of probably the biggest reason why I don't enjoy playing Survivor over Killer. I still like Survivor. I still think it's pretty fun. And I still enjoy playing it. We play every Friday at twitch.tv/TheMrHeadache, where we do open lobbies where you don't have to be followed, you don't have to be subbed, you just gotta not be a jerk. That's it. There's something I've noticed I consistently dislike about playing the Survivor role that makes me kind of shy away from playing it. And when it comes to my Monday through Wednesday streams, I am almost always playing Killer for the reason that I'm about to list. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So what's the main reason that I prefer, at least right now in the year of our Lord 2024, what's the main reason that I enjoy playing Killer over Survivor still? It's actually mostly a problem when it comes down to the Survivor role itself, is the fact that you are responsible for other people's mistakes. I think one of the things I enjoy the most about the Killer role is the agency that you have playing the Killer role. A lot of people find this particularly stressful because you're in a 4v1 situation, so you're quite literally outnumbered, and everything in the game in terms of success or failure comes down to you. You are the only person that can hunt down the survivors and sacrifice them to the entity. You are a one-man show, one-man force. Everything that happens that's successful or not successful is entirely on your shoulders, which can be a very, very stressful and an anxiety-inducing situation. And that is why most people in the Dead by Daylight community do not enjoy the Killer role or find it way, way more stressful than playing Survivor, because they don't like having that much power in their hands, and they don't like having a lot of things go wrong because everything is on their shoulders and it's just too much to handle. There's a lot more expectations there. And it makes people anxious, and it makes people stressed that they can't live up to certain expectations of like getting consistent 4Ks or looking foolish if they didn't make the right choice, getting made fun of in the after chat. It's a lot of stress. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. So a lot of people kind of like naturally are afraid of the Killer role and enjoy it less than the Survivor role. However, the thing I enjoy the most about the Killer role is that aspect that everything is up to you. Everything is your fault, whether that's success or failure. Everything is up to you. One of the things that agitates me the most about playing Survivor is the fact that I am responsible for other people's mistakes. It doesn't matter if I can have full 1 minute plus chases with the Killer and guarantee gens are actually getting done, unless I am endowed with very, very, very good map RNG, or I have a very, very busted build. I'm not going to be able to like lead the Killer on like a 4 or 5 gen chase. That's not really realistic unless the Killer is actually really, really bad. At least not consistently. You're not going to consistently be leading Killers on 4 or 5 gen chases. That's just not how the game really, really works. So it doesn't matter how good I am at chase. It doesn't matter how good I am on gens unless I'm bringing like brand new part, commodious toolbox, and a full gen build every game, because I can only do so many gens by myself, because there's going to be survivors that end up getting downed, hooked in the middle of the match, and I'm going to be responsible for getting them. I can't do all 5 gens by myself, so at some point I'm going to be torn off the gens if my Survivor teammates are not good enough to be able to be pushing out the amount of gen pressure that they should by themselves. And the whole idea of like order of operations with who goes for what save when, I feel like the more I play Dead by Daylight and the higher MMR I get, like people still don't understand who needs to go for the save when. There's obviously a very, very sensible priority system when it comes to, well, injured survivors should probably not be going for the save unless, there's literally nobody else left to go for it. And obviously among injured and healthy survivors, some of us have hooks and some of us don't have hooks. We should probably send the person with the least amount of hooks to go get that save. I think that's pretty common sense. I assumed it was pretty common sense, but evidently that is not the case. And we end up having death hook people who are injured going for saves and just throwing the whole game because they get caught at hook by the Killer. And now it's a 3v1 at like 3 gens because some bupkis, some idiot couldn't figure out that maybe on death hook while injured, maybe I shouldn't go for the save. apparently that was like hard to figure out. So now I get to lose and I get to not have fun for the rest of my match because now I'm playing a 3v1 very, very early in the game, and all of that weight is put on my shoulders because you didn't know that while on death hook and injured, maybe I shouldn't be in front of the killer or doing something. Like, my point being, in all these situations that I am describing, like, it doesn't matter if I don't make mistakes, I am being punished for other people's mistakes, which is not an environment that I have to deal with while I'm playing killer. If I have a very, very long chase on Survivor and the gens don't get done, that's on me. I'm apparently supposed to just be really, really good in chase and also do all the gens and also get all the hook saves. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do that. If I am the only one on gens and for some reason everybody's doing like little side quests or like hovering for flashlight saves, that's another one that happens a lot. I'll get like, you know, it's funny because like I love flashbang saves. That's like my favorite thing to do in the game. I love flashlight saves, but I'll get situations where I have like a whole team hovering a down person, and then like I look over at the Survivor HUD and there's like 0 gen progress. Like, I can't do all 5 gens by myself. Even if I'm full gen jockey and I have like a full gen build, I cannot do all 5 generators by myself. If I have 1 person down and 2 people hovering the save, I can't do 5 gens by myself. I can't do that. Like, I cannot intervene in that situation. I cannot put out 5 gens. So now I get to not have a fun match and lose because of the choices of other people. That's cool. If people are messing up the order of operations to saves, I'm not always in a position where I can be getting the save every single time. Obviously, sometimes I'll be cross map. Sometimes I'll be the guy that's injured or I'll be the guy that's on death hook. But for some reason, the survivors don't know if to go for the save and I have to go do it. I can't always be getting every single save. And honestly, that has been an expectation I have noticed a lot when I'm out there playing Survivor, is that everybody kind of like shirks the duty of going for the save. So I've been running Deadline Autodidact lately. So like I can build stacks really, really quickly. That way, even if I am injured, I can just run up with my 5 stacks of Autodidact, get 1 skill check, and have the heal basically done. That way we can just call it a day and we can just be like, okay, out of the hook, out from under the hook as quick as possible. I can make that risky save a little bit more quickly. But I don't know, man. It's just I feel like the common conception is like, well, there's a lot of time just sitting on a gen, just kind of like hanging out. So Survivor is the least stressful role. But in me, it's like the reverse. It's like my complete lack of agency and the fact that I am just like perpetually being punished for other people's bad decisions, unless I'm in a 4-man on comms. Like, I hate that. Like that agitates me. I hate losing a game because of other people's stupid decisions, and for some reason having to shoulder the burden of their bad decisions and try to carry the game to victory more than I should be, because I should be, realistically, if we're looking at this from a fairness perspective, only contributing about 1/4 of the pressure into the game, whether it be gens, chases, saves. I should be only participating about 1/4 of the way, and that another 1/4 should be shared, another 1/4 should be shared, and another 1/4 should be shared, and we should all come together as a team. But a lot of the time it ends up they make bad decisions and you end up shouldering more of that percentile of putting that pressure on the game to try and win. And in those situations, I feel really, really annoyed. I feel like, you know, this is not my job. I need to be doing A, B, C, but now I'm being forced to do D, E, F because you didn't do it right in the first place. And it's just naturally really, really frustrating. And it feels like, you know how it feels? It feels like the lazy guy at work when he doesn't do his job, and just because you happen to be, you know, good at your job, you're forced to do his work because he was lazy. That's how it feels. It feels like you're having to pick up slack for the lazy guy at work, which, you know, if you've been in that situation, it fucking feels terrible. It feels awful. It feels like you're being punished for doing a good job. And that's just a shit feeling. I don't enjoy that. So why am I going to be doing it in a video game? Why am I going to be covering for that guy in a video game in my free time where I'm supposed to be having fun? Doesn't make sense to me. At least when I'm a 1-man show on killer and I fail, yeah, well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions, it's my fault, right? Or it's the game's fault because, well, they brought 4-man balance landing and Ormond and syringes and prove thyself. Like, you know, it's not like me picking up slack for somebody else, which I find very irritating. So yeah, that is why I will always prefer killer over survivor, is because I feel like I have to be punished for other people's mistake and pick up slack for other people, which I don't particularly enjoy. So yeah, what do you guys think? Why do you guys prefer the killer role over the survivor role, or do you prefer the survivor role over killer role and I am just way off? Let me know in the comments below. But that's gonna be it for today's video, friends. Thank you so much for watching, but I do upload daily, so I will see you tomorrow. But if I do not, I will see you when I see you. Bye.